Welcome back, everyone, to episode 4 of Advanced Tactics Gold. I have an exciting feeling about this episode. I mean, this is maybe I'll have to put this episode in all caps, like war or something, because I'm pretty sure we're going to have combat. Maybe not combat, but it's definitely going to be the formation on the front. And to that point, I have decided I probably am going to want some more staff, and I am going to want some more riflemen, and it's really hard to choose. Maybe one more lump of staff. No, maybe even riflemen here. I mean, we should not neglect riflemen. We are right now bypassing a little bit of supply for riflemen, and I'm not sure that's a good decision, but a storm is coming. Excuse me. The storm is brewing and heading towards us, just like a certain hurricane which is about to hit the East Coast. Yeah, this is going to be... I'm probably taking this a little too lightly. So maybe even retraction of some political points for more riflemen. And then what we can do is just exactly this. Force these divisions. Force this... Okay, this division's actually perfect as she is. We're going to want to push more more riflemen in this direction. Even if they... even if we don't need those divisions yet, or I don't know if we will or not. I think we'll even create one new division here. Also it'll be our third rifleman group. Third infantry. Good. So we have one group which is empty, the second one which is full, and then the third one which we also just created. Of course it's empty. Because I was just, this whole idea that I talked about this when I was creating the map, or when I talked about this new series and how I made the map. I was mentioning that I made this pretty wide in order to force me to make strategic decisions about where to cover. And that's exactly what we're going to have to do very soon. I need the tools available to myself in order to make those decisions. I need enough infantry. I need enough boots on the ground to be able to do something. So, okay, let's end the turn here. I don't think I have any changes for any other changes to the production. Just getting a few more riflemen. Yeah. Okay, so let's end the turn. Let's see what happens. Okay, good. Okay. Oh, my. Oh, he's actually in yellow. So the first aggressive maneuver of the game. The AI, I will say, is rather aggressive. So this is not like the last aggressive move I expect. And we actually have some decisions here. Do we attack or do we cut them off? We can only choose to either move here and attack, or move here. We won't have enough for an attack. Or potentially we can move here and then attack with just one unit, which is probably not a good idea. Yeah, probably not. Okay, so this is already getting exciting, huh? And how many forces did we drag in here? 76 riflemen. Good. We're going to need them. I have a feeling. Get our train back here. Just put them in right away. I don't think we don't need movement points for our Supreme Headquarters. She's probably going to stay there for the rest of her days. We actually can start building our road north here, which I will definitely do. We don't have enough action points to keep building it, but otherwise I would. The raw situation looks pretty contained for now. Don't anticipate any problems there. I'm not going to keep pushing because I don't think supply is going to cover us. So what are we at here? Actually, we're at 45, but this person's movement points, I don't know if you could see, they were only were to move here, and those were both cut off from supply. If we could have gotten on this side of the stream, I think we would have been in supply, even in the forest here. Probably could have gone 45, 65, and then 90, or maybe 100, 95. I forget what it is for forest. What is it? 30, yeah. So it would have been 90, no, 95? 95. From 65 to 95. Excuse me, sorry about that. But we would have been in supply, and that would have been, that's the only thing that really matters, right? 0 8 action points to get to your supply, 99, it doesn't matter, it's all the same. Just don't break 100. Well, I think you can even have 100, just don't break 101. Okay, so let's move these guys forward, same thing. Move them both forward, and then actually they both become armored recon now. Which means... oh, both of them are carrying a little bit of extra riflemen, that's good. And then the 5th armored recon can move, and I don't know how we want to move things. First of all, let's try to do a little bit of maneuvering here, and I'm pretty sure their unit is here. I'm basically going to roll the dice that it is. If they have a unit here, which seems just impossible to me, because your zone of control should progress at least 1 hex in every direction. So if they had a unit here, they should have taken at least these 2 hexes, and this one probably would have been absorbed. I don't know how the zone of control or territory propagation works exactly, but basically because I know that they're here, I feel like I can move here. The reason why I'm not clicking, and then clicking, which would allow me to scout, is I'm going to bypass the zone of control penalty. You have to pay a 10-point penalty for moving into the zone of control of an enemy. If you don't know they're there, you don't pay it. So it seems a little bit weird, but you can kind of think of it this way, that if you... The whole point is if I was to move here, which I could do, or even here, and I run into an enemy, that counts as a surprise attack. So in some cases it's nice to move quickly. I'm basically doing a move quick. But if you were to run into an enemy, that's an attack. Moving into an enemy's hex is the attack. That's what you do when you attack anyways, which I guess we'll see in a moment. If I were to do that, that would count as a surprise attack, and I would take like a 75% penalty. I would probably just be decimated. Even though my unit is pretty strong, I feel very comfortable with these armored recon units right now. So let's go ahead and just jump. I do take the 10 action point penalty for moving into enemy territory, but if I weren't... okay, so this is going to cost 40. There's a unit as predicted, but now let's see what happens. It's only... let's see, okay, it's 30 to move here, and then it's 50. Okay, so it's 15. Let me verify that. 15 to move into... field should be 25. Why? Oh, right. Okay, so it's 10 to move here, and then it's... okay, sorry, it's 20 to move here, and then it's 45. So it is 25 to move that last thing. So it should be 25 normally. It's 45 here, is it? That's what it says the cost will be. The 45 is the 25 plus 10 for moving into enemy territory, plus 10 because of zone of control. So you can see that if we had run into this thing, we would have been flattened. I mean, it would have been very bad for at least our riflemen. Maybe some of our armored cars would have been lost as well. And I did this just to give me more action points available for my decision after the fact. Like, what do I want to do now? Do I want to try to prevent their advance? I could move here. Let's leave that be for now. Let's first take a look at what happens here, which is probably going to affect where some of my other troops are going to move. By the way, I don't know what the sound is like. I haven't even started this series yet. I'm actually going to turn the sound... okay, maybe it's already okay where it is. I'm actually turning up the sound myself. I hear the little train moving. I hear the little vehicles moving. It is kind of... I mean, they're very minor, simple, very simple sound effects, but they're enjoyable. So let me move here, which is what I would do to get here no matter what. If I'd moved down, I don't know what's around me. I may have just cut them off immediately, but I wouldn't have had enough for the attack. Okay, so we currently think that there's 38 and 3. Let's get even... right now our recon is 72. We'll get this guy to scout from the other side. Our recon is now... we have 111 reconnaissance points on this hex. 38 and 3 remains, so we're pretty confident we are facing exactly 38 riflemen, 3 militia. And I was thinking this must be like companies, because how many companies would be in a division? Would it be... I can't imagine it would be as low as squad. So I think it's companies. These are companies of units. That's my current prediction, because I assume about 50 riflemen is about what one division is supposed to be, I think. So, I mean, between maybe 30 and 50. So 30 between 50... yeah, I mean, these do say if you just create a new division, this does say division. So it says you're creating a division. So that seems to imply that these are division templates. I mean, so, well, division, right? Let's move this horse back. I think we'll leave this rifleman. Well, actually, we could get into this forest, which is pretty valuable defensive territory. I'm a little concerned about Yuan Ping and this oil. We still need to save that. So let's get this unit to be infantry as well. The 4th infantry. And this infantry, I don't know where we want to move. I don't think we'll be able to move all the way to this mountain in time, which is what my hope originally was. This guy holding here is nice. We may even need to move this guy north. Armored cars are not going to defend quite as well against the infantry, but they will defend better. I mean, relatively, they will defend better in the open area versus the forest because they don't get an entrenchment bonus, but infantry do. So if you have infantry here, I mean, if you have your choice of armored recon and infantry in 2 hexes next to each other, infantry would go better in the forest because they can take advantage more of the entrenchment, whereas the armored cars will defend the same in both. So I think I am going to test this out. We need to. This guy's not completely cut off from supply, but he's out of his ideal supply limit. It's yellow, which means I'm wasting supply in order to get it there, which I strongly dislike. I'm also really, really happy that we chose to get an extra rifleman because, yes, this is heating up pretty quickly. And I think I'm going to go with it. We have such a strong combat bonus on the offensive. 2,000 hit points, 1,300 on the attack. We have 8 armored cars. Plus, I mean, we also have the... Oh, this is only 12 riflemen, which is not that great, but... So we have a total of about 30 riflemen to their 38. I don't like this attack. It could go poorly for us. Let's see what our staff headquarters is at, because Katsuragi-san is actually going to contribute to this attack. This guy's at 80%, but this guy's actually at 100%. Let's move some staff over first. It should be effective immediately. We have no rail capacity. We cannot do this. Okay. Well, can anybody else contribute to the fight? That's another thing. Almost surely not. Yeah, it takes 65 of their movement point to get here. And it takes 20 additional action points to be able to attack because of the same reason. Moving into enemy territory. So we could attack here because it takes... What is it? Is this? It's field. So it takes 45 to attack. Same as it would cost to move in. I definitely don't want to attack this unit. But, I mean, this unit is going to be cut off. I think we're just going to roll the dice and go for it. This is... it's a bold decision, though. Gosh. Golly gee willikers, don't make me do this. Okay, let's just do it. Here we go. Wow. Whoa. Oh, it was great. It worked out exceptionally well for us. We lost only 2 riflemen and just obliterated their forces. So the armored recon came in, riding on their armored cars, and just mowed them down. They were in open field. Was it field or even plains? I don't remember. So this goes to show you that, you know, I try to use like a power rule of like 3-to-1 for the attack, but it really is so variable based on the circumstances. They didn't have a chance to entrench because they had moved forward, and they didn't get a lot of free entrenchment because the territory didn't provide it, as in the plains or the terrain, I mean. Okay, so let's look. They had 28. Well, we had 28. In the end, we lost 2 and 3 retreated. We actually had 2 riflemen, armored cars retreat, which means that they'll be a little bit lower on readiness. These units both might be pretty low on readiness, but hey, I'm already happy with just the bare results. Their morale is also going to drop, which is good. Doesn't impact the fighting. The Japanese, it'll gradually return to its standard point, which is 50. I don't know if morale... Actually, I'm not sure if morale goes down, though. We have 65 morale on these guys. They might stay that way based on the victories. So see, they only had an initial entrenchment of 25, so this is probably plains, not even field. And we could go round by round and see whatever happened. Like, okay, in round 1, we already had an armored car retreat, which is not good. Retreat, yeah. But we did some damage. We lost a rifleman, and I mean, we're just looking at this division. We could also look at this division, and then we could look at this. Wow, they just got schlacked. So you can actually go round by round and kind of figure out what was going on. But I think most of the time, this view is all I need. This is nice for the actual battle. You get to see things happen as the battle's going on, like quote-unquote in real time, as the rounds are calculated. But then the final result here is really important because we see that their readiness is way down. Of course, they gained some experience, and we did too, for the battle. Okay, let's move on. Wow, so that was exceptional. Really, just a really good result. We, of course, want to move back. I just have a feel that this is the right thing to do. We could actually leave this unit here and move this unit forward, which would somewhat prevent their moving forward even more. So I'm now contemplating exactly doing this. I mean, the glorious thing right now is that we have them cut off. Yeah, the only option we have is to move here, or we actually, so we can move here for free because we spent the action points needed to move into this hex during our attack. But we can choose not, we could choose basically what would have amount to like a supporting attack. In fact, both people in a weird way can choose a supporting attack. Nobody actually has to move into the hex. So we just cleared it, and then but we didn't actually advance into it after we eliminated the enemy presence there, or pushed them back. If this guy stays, he's a bit vulnerable. The armored cars are a little bit lower on readiness, which is going to impact their combat ability. And I have no idea what units are here. I mean, this is so interesting. This unit can also move here, but probably this unit is better. I think what I want to do is move back maybe only one. Lots of fields around here, and this was plains, so we can see that they moved back into fields, but and they're actually next to a swamp. If they're just trying to survive, that wouldn't be a bad idea. I'm not sure they'll have the action points to actually move in there. There's no stream there. As far as I can tell, there's no stream on the border of that. Yeah, there is not. So that wouldn't be a bad idea, actually, for them to move south into that. This would just be their way of trying to prevent being attacked, because my armored cars literally cannot move into swamp. They cannot move in, and because they cannot move in, they cannot attack into. So it's a little bit weird to see that this attack is minus 75% for moving into the swamp when supposedly they can't move in. The one exception to that is if there's a road. They can use the road to move in, but they still take this huge action point penalty for the attack, which makes sense. Swamp is just not the right place for armor or vehicles or, mechanized stuff, anything. And these armor cars have really been already a godsend. I'm really glad I got that factory up. In fact, one of the things I'm considering doing is not even building this road forward more, just moving back and building artillery. Actually, I could do that next turn. I think we only need, we can verify right here. To get a gun factory, we need 80 engineering points, which we'll have next turn. And we definitely have the political points to do it. In fact, one of the other things I want to do is upgrade this oil. So this guy will move here and then move to this oil. That'll probably take 2 turns. We're really cranking on the political points, and getting this gun factory up I think is really important. So if I wanted to just build the gun factory, I could build it here instead. That is fine to me. I could build it this turn. Now, the gun factory takes 80 itself, but I also need, of course, to research 45, which means this whole thing is going to take 125, which is all my political points. But I mean, what are you going to do with political points? You're not going to keep them in your pocket, right? This would be a very aggressive maneuver, but I think it's worth it. And then actually what we're going to have to do is start building horses again, because artillery, I don't know if you've heard, is not very mobile. So what we can do, though, is we can use the horses to pull the artillery. This is like always my way of doing it, is just to get groups of one horse, luckily, can pull 1 artillery. Let's just pull up artillery so that you can see This carries 10, this weighs 10. See, it's perfect. So you can have your artillery actually moving around very quickly, which is also really nice because every time your artillery, when you bombard from a distance, has the number of rounds of bombardment is equal to 10 times the number of action points you can give it. The number of action points you can give it divided by 10. So if I have 80 action points, or 85 or 89, I can get 8 rounds of artillery bombardment. If you start with 100 and you don't move at all, you can get a full 10. So moving the horses actually add this really nice dynamic to the artillery that you can move them and then bombard. And okay, let's say you move on the road twice. You can still get 6 rounds of bombardment. The range of a bombardment is 2. So that gives you kind of like an effective reach. Well, it's a decaying effective reach, but it gives you more effective reach. You can move them and bombard for a small penalty in the effectiveness, or the potency of your bombardment. Okay, let's look at the time. 21 minutes in. Good, still doing good. Lots of fun decisions in this one though, and looks like we're going to be able to... I might even just move... This is going to be costly from an oil standpoint, but I might just move all of my armored cars forward. Because I have a lot of incoming riflemen, I assume. Okay, so this won't work anymore. Oh, this is we're actually at our max now. So we can do 50% for political points. Probably something like this. No, we need a little bit of supply. Let's do this. We might even want horses from one of these if we start getting... Yeah, this sounds weird, I know, to just get 10 riflemen, but we need the 4 horses. The 4 horsemen. We need the horses because we're about to get our... I'm going to do this for sure. Yeah. Oops. So move here. First we have to do this to make sure I'm not crazy. Still have enough action points, political points to do the gun factory. We don't have enough engineering points. Okay, that's fine. That's still okay. We'll wait until one more turn. We need to get the research for artillery done anyway. That means we don't need to start with the horses quite yet. We'll get an extra 8 riflemen in their place, and who knows, we may need those. We definitely haven't seen the full potency of the enemy. It looks like we're going to be okay down here, at least with the first attack. Okay, so we're getting riflemen. I think we should get staff now. As we could see, I didn't have enough. And what I might do is, I don't even remember the last time I added a headquarters. Army HQ. I don't know if I'm going to do this. I haven't used this a whole lot. I almost never use tows for my army headquarters. The good news about this would be I could propagate forces forward from my... I could give a lot of riflemen and stuff. I could basically create that demand at the headquarters level without having to create divisions in order to do that. And I'm not sure... Yeah, we just have to do this, I think. This is going to be something new for me. So Army HQ, let's first create... we're going to want staff. We're going to want riflemen. Okay, first let's set like 70 as the quantity of staff. I think that's his limit. We probably can go even more. But we'll just do this for now. We're going to want, let's say 100 riflemen, so that we constantly pull new riflemen in. Okay, let's set 50 for now. And then what do we want? Maybe we set 2 armored cars just for a reinforcement. So what I believe will happen, and this is actually never before seen because I've never done it. I believe that this will pull these forces from the main headquarters, but then they can be used to reinforce units. They don't get stuck, quote unquote, stuck in the division. If they do, what I'll do is I'll just cancel. Return? No. Do not return. I'll auto staff. That's interesting. I don't even know what that means, and there's no pop-up to tell me what it means, so we'll have to just leave it off. And I'm fine with the HQ, model. So I think that's our headquarters. I'm just nervous about using it until I test it. I might just go into another game and test it and see if it works or not. The problem is right now our riflemen, when they're moved into this headquarters, they actually are losing readiness, which I don't like. And I think that if they're moved by the tow system, that won't happen. Because that is a real pain in the butt. Which also means that I probably should just set 100. The problem I have is I'm not sure if they get stuck there. Like if this unit has 100 riflemen, but subordinate units are demanding 50 and another one demands 50. Do the 100 stay in the staff until another 100 come in? So when he has 200, will he then disperse them? Or will he start dispersing them with the amount he has available and then demand a new 100 for himself? If it's the latter, everything's perfect. That's how I hope the system works, but as I don't know, these questions remain. So I think that we have the fourth, which can go up and join the third. I think that was always the plan. If I just pull back one, maybe this is enough to still put pressure on them. Actually, can he move here? He still can. This would squeeze them a bit more. Do I want to be attacked by essentially 60 units? Probably not. I was actually thinking of putting these into the same hex. So the downside is that they will be able to be overrun a little bit more quickly. I only see this unit. I think I'm okay with that. So I think I might use this unit up here even. Just to slow any push. Oh, okay, yeah. So we see some units. I think that's a good decision because this unit is also... I don't want to move him into the open. This is plains, not even field. I like him in this little area. We have this like one space gaps between things, which is going to make it very expensive for units to try to move through and cut people off. Like I don't see... There's pretty much no possibility of this unit getting cut off because this hex will be so hard to take. They can probably move one and maybe even two. But they certainly cannot move 3. You can only move 2 hexes in enemy territory. So, and the fact that we have zone of control there will really enforce that. Okay, so then we have just a bunch of blinked divisions. We'll probably move these riflemen in, the horsemen in, like so. And then we have another blinked division, which, having nothing else to do with it, let's actually get this one to be an armored recon. Okay, I chose it. It's too late now. So hopefully we have enough trains to allow that to happen. Okay, so same story. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, go. Move. Transfer. I didn't officially make this into an army HQ, but let's do it. And now it's the first army headquarters. I love that. The first. The name didn't actually change at all. It would have been that anyway. Same way this is the 2nd Infantry. And the template is called Army HQ, so it would have been the first Army HQ anyway. I like that. Okay, so we'll see what happens with the staff. I put staff 70, riflemen 100. I said not to return units. I'm pretty sure we don't want them to return. Yeah, that's good. So that means the horsemen will stay with them. Okay. This is exciting. We're really getting there. We had an extra template, which we made into this. Okay, I'll leave it there, and I'll just create new divisions manually. I think we'll create 2 more. First, they will start off in this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. And move, and switch. And the staff is getting pretty low, 69%. I might... It's a waste of... It's a waste to do this. It's definitely a waste to do this, but I could just leave one armored recon stuck here, even though it's a perfect armored recon as well. No, I'm not going to do that. just to decrease the amount of staff that we have, or that we need. Oh, you know what I can do is I can do it this way, right? This staff, I'm going to do this trick once more, where this just gets fed right to this headquarters. So this is political points, which we, wait, this is wrong. Oh, is this the one where we go 90? It is, damn it. Okay, well then it doesn't matter. You might as well just stay with this headquarters. Yeah. We need some staff. Well, that's a good point. We do need some staff. Who wants to provide some staff? Staff infection. Is this the one where we go 50? It is. 50. And maybe 50 there. Oh, you know what? This could work. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do 100% here. And this is going to be 100% staff. Or 18 more staff would actually make a huge difference, and we can give them some supply directly. I mean, they are sending out like 1,000, most of the supply, so this won't go to waste, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, we can actually reinforce this first army directly. And I like the fact that we have this nice first thing there. It's going to be nice, because when we have the other ones, I mean, the color itself should say it, but the name itself is also nice. Let's see what else we're doing for production. This one also has to change. This one, yeah, what is this one supposed to be at? I thought Austria would be the same. Is there a trick with this one? Yeah, don't think so. This is just 50 and 50. We did 50-50 there, and we can do 50 and 50 here. Okay, you know what? Okay, I'll just send it back home. This one doesn't actually have to be this. How are we doing on supply? That's a question. Stockpile's not really going up that much. That's a little troublesome. So let's do 50 and 50. Okay. Yeah, we're getting plenty of political points for this one, political points from this one. And you are still producing some riflemen, which I have a strong feeling we're going to need. So let's stick with that for now. Okay, let's do the new division. We're doing the same thing. I still haven't decided whether I'll transfer this one, oops, to the new headquarters or leave it under the Supreme after moving. Because 69% is just going to get lower, probably down to 65 or something, which is not that big of a deal, but still something to consider. Well, tell you what, it's been 33 minutes. This has been already an exciting episode. Let me call it to a close here. So I'll be able to debate these kind of things off camera. I'll think about where the 5th is going to move. 5th definitely has to move somewhere. I'm strongly leaning towards doing something like this, having him defend here. Strongly leaning towards this. I actually want to do this as well. 1, 2, they can only move 2 in enemy territory. So it seems really funny to send somebody with only 4 riflemen forward. But because they are not going to be able to move with zone of control issues, so we want to kind of pin them down. So I'm actually going to do this. That's pretty bold, but I'm pretty sure they can't get here. I'm almost positive they cannot get here, which is mountain terrain anyway, which they move slower through. Is that right? Low mountain's 40, yeah. So they absolutely cannot move through here, get here, and attack me. And hopefully my units just have enough riflemen by the beginning of next turn that I don't have to worry about pulling them back. Because this is a pretty strong force. And they haven't shown any armored, so I'm also, I mean, armor is not going to go into the forest and attack anyway. They wouldn't have enough action points. So the last thing to do is to consider what to do with these units. This one moves for free here. I think that's still okay to do. Because this one's a little damaged, I think I'm going to put them together. And now I pretty much solved what I'm going to do. So when I end the turn here, I mean, we probably can't end the turn, but I'll think about these things a little bit more. I wish I had done this off camera so I could, could always contemplate a new plan. Now we're kind of stuck into this, but that's fine. I made a command decision, and we'll live with it. So until the next episode, I'm very excited about this series. We have this unit which is cut off, and hopefully we get our first elimination of the game. But already the battle went well, and this shows that we are really going to war from this episode on. So until the next episode, thanks for watching, and take care.